Good morning. I just wanted to kind of introduce you to taking attendance. I do want to point out that you should have an attendance question like this one right here each day. If I put an extra post up, it may be scrolled down just a tiny bit, so please just make sure you look for the attendance each day. It is a check-in question, and starting on Monday for A days and Tuesday for B days, this attendance will count in each of your classes. So make sure that you go ahead and fill that out. I do want to talk a little bit about today's activities and today's post. So one of the things we're going to have you do is we're going to work on our introduction to modeling again. And we're actually going to be starting on unit section 4 here. So if you had done the other sections, that's great. If not, you might want to take a look at those and see if you can kind of catch up here in unit 4. We're going to just begin the activity, and they're going to first have you start looking at some graphs. These are what we call direct relationships. These relationships are positive, so the slope of the line goes uphill, 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 but they're sort of different types. This one is linear. This one is exponential. This one is parabolic, sort of with a limit on it. And they're going to give you a couple of questions here. As you work through them, they're going to ask you to kind of choose the graph, whether it's directly linear, if it's a steep slope, or if it's a less steep slope, if it's exponential, or if it's parabolic and levels off. That those things are going to go with the modeling, so they're asking you to kind of check them out to begin with. When you go to the next activity, they have a few more, so go ahead and answer those. And then they give you your challenge. And again, in your challenge question, they're going to ask you to open up the software. So click on it. It opens up the software. Again, if you're having a little trouble following this, you may want to go back to some of the other software to make sure that you're able to do it. They give you some information here. If you need the guiding question, again, you can toggle back and forth like we talked about last class, or you could also go to this title part, click on that, and it'll bring down the challenge question. The question direct and indirect that they're asking us here is if you want to add additional steps, you're going to go ahead and do that. First thing you might want to do is you might want to put some pictures in here. So for a number of cars on the road, I'm going to go new image. I'm going to type cars. I'm going to pick out one of these cars that I like. This one looks nice. I'm going to add the image, close that window. And then I'm going to go ahead and select it and bring it down. And you notice it kind of doesn't take the place of the other one. I may want to title it number of cars on road before I delete the other one, which you can just delete. But you notice it took away my connection arrow. So like we did last class, grab the arrow and go ahead and connect it. Again, you can fill these in as you go, but the activity that we're going to work on today is clicking on this arrow. So what I'm going to do is double click on the arrow, and it is going to, I'm going to have to move my challenge window. I think I'm going to just delete the challenge window right now. I'm going to use this graph relationship. So I have to decide, does this increase, does it decrease, or does it vary? So if I'm looking at this relationship between the number of cars on the road and the number of accidents, I'm going to say it probably increases. And then I can select an option. Is it linear? Is it linear but very steep? Is it just a little bit more? Is it more and more exponential? Is it less and less? It sort of levels out. I'm going to actually pick more and more, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a reason on here. I'm going to say when there are more cars, the space between cars is reduced and people cannot react as quickly. May want to go ahead and put some commas in there. And Actually, when I kind of wrote this explanation, it made me think that there were more steps in between here. And I might want to add some additional steps. Again, once you finish kind of making your activity here, you do need to kind of toggle back and you can hit next. There is an opportunity for you to kind of review your answers. If you go show all your answers, it'll put all your answers on here. It'll even have a spot where view work and you can see the work that you did. If you click this share button over here, a link comes up. You can copy this link, so Control C, and then you can paste that into today's form. So today's form kind of looks like this. I am asking you guys to kind of reach out to your classmates as best you can to make sure that you are, actually today's form let me put it in today's form. Today's form, again, looks sort of like this. This is very similar to the form that we had yesterday. Please reach out to your classmates and make sure that they're participating. If you want to go ahead and paste in your links, you can for activities 4, 5, and 6. I think tomorrow I'm going to paste some model examples, and that you can kind of actually choose one of the models to play with. There's some models on epidemics. Maybe you want to kind of avoid the news for a little bit and choose one of the other types of models to kind of fool around with. That would be a great idea. Again, just have some fun with this. Make sure that all of your other work is completed. If it is the lab report, you need to upload that to Google Classroom. If it is something else that you need to email me, please reach out to me. I did provide a little spot down here for some feedback if you want to give me some. If it's very urgent or you need a laptop or something like that, please make sure that you contact the school or email me directly and I'll try to put you in touch with the correct person. Try to do the attendance today and tomorrow, and then Monday and Tuesday, Monday for A day, Tuesday for B day. It actually counts for your attendance, so you do need to check in. I really miss you guys. I'm excited about this. I hope that we have a great opportunity. Let me know what other teachers are doing that you like or you don't like. I'm going to try to start off at a reasonable pace next week so that you don't get overwhelmed. But I do think you should practice checking into all of your Google Classrooms starting today. Even if your class is not meeting, it's probably a good idea to check into the Google Classroom. Hope to talk to you all soon. Please email me if you have any questions. Check your PowerSchool grades. If there's any errors, just let me know. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks.